The following is a college course based on the textbooks Marketing and Marketing the Core, written by Karen Berkowitz Hartley and Rodelius, and published by McGraw-Hill Irwin Publishers.
We looked at an option of perhaps putting the whole jewel case on here with the lid on it, so that we could put a cover in there, like it would be a proper CD case. But the problem with that is when you open it, it comes down here. So if we take this off, we lose the dimension, the capacity of it.
This team has a lot of creative ideas, but it also has a problem. How does it put these ideas together into a promotional plan that will communicate the client's message effectively to the customer?
Yeah.
Okay, so we think this is
I've done
cool
20
because it's
PowerPoints and
dimensional,
they
all
were-
right? So why can't
Because it changes the whole dynamics of the size of the pieces.
It isn't enough for a business to deliver good products at attractive prices. To generate sales and profits, the benefits of a product or service have to be effectively communicated to customers. This communication process occurs when the company or the source creates a message, including information about the product, and sends that message to the receiver or customer. A company sends its message through a channel of communication, such as a salesperson, advertising, public relations, or a web page. These are all elements of promotion, and good promotion is why companies come to Specialized Marketing Services. Specialized Marketing Services, or SMS, was founded in 1989 and provides full-service marketing solutions for its clients. The company incorporates a comprehensive array of services under one roof to meet clients' marketing objectives. It does this by creating promotion programs or campaigns.
We're founded on the premise of a client in having numerous portions of a campaign that needs to be managed, being able to come to one source and be able to pick up the phone and have one person that they can speak to regarding any portion of their campaign. Our clients, when they have a problem, when they have a challenge, call us.
Specialized Marketing Services solves its clients' problems by applying the concept of integrated marketing communications, the idea of coordinating channels of communication in order to send a consistent message to the target market.
Integrated marketing communications is developing a mix of the different marketing disciplines that have the same feel, same tone, and same messaging. It's the one voice of a company that goes out to the public or out to the business community.
What we're able to do is to start at the beginning, basically what we call from concept to completion, the idea, working on the programs, goals, and objectives, and then taking it through to the tactical execution.
Developing a promotion program requires a step-by-step approach, which includes planning, implementation, and control. The first step is planning an overall message strategy. In creating this strategy, a company must first determine its target market or target audience. This is the group of prospective buyers that a company wants to communicate with, the group to whom it will direct its promotion program. The more a company knows about its target audience, the more effective the promotion program will be. But this often requires considerable research. Many companies, such as computer vendor eMachines, come to Specialized Marketing Services for help.
So when eMachines came to us and they said, we've got this great product and we know it's for the gamer community, who do we need to reach? First we looked at demographics. What age range are people going to be able to afford a system that may be $1,000 or above? Of that group, is it male or female? Is there a specific type of job that they have? Are they executives? Are they middle management? Are they warehouse personnel? Are they college students? And so what SMS did, we took a look at the entire universe of this type of population, and then we went and we did some interviewing and targeting of specific individuals and asking them the questions, would this type of product be attractive to you? From that, we narrowed it down and we came up with a scope of a target audience that truly was between the ages of 18 and 35, that was independent of male or female. We found that there were people that pretty much had a general income of about $35,000 or more a year, and are interested in spending money on technology that increases their playing capabilities, but also are conscious of a price budget.
No matter what the product or service is, a company must understand its target audience, which can lead to increased customer satisfaction.
If you're targeting consumers with a travel company, what you'll typically want to find out are things such as the frequency of their travel, the amount that they usually spend on their travel, what particular destinations that they prefer to go to. You can collect those types of things, and what that allows you to do is target your marketing, your later marketing messages, or your follow-up packages to something that you know matches their interest.
Home user or
Establishing objectives is another critical step in planning the promotional program. Typical objectives include stimulating demand for a product or improving a company's image.
When we start a program, one of the first steps is really identifying objectives. And it's a process of sitting down with a client and asking them, what do you want to achieve? Are you trying to increase your market share? Are you trying to increase revenue? Are you trying to retain customers that you already have? Are you trying to launch a new product? And what do you want to measure?
What is the end result? What do you want to have from this promotion? And from there, we talked and we have data gathering with them on that, and we ask specific questions. What is your message, do you think, that you want to portray to this target audience? What is the one thing that you believe that you want to say to them? What's your competition doing? What are you doing that's different? Is it relevant to your target audience?
After establishing objectives for the promotion program, the important question of how much to spend comes up. Objectives help determine the size of the budget.
And when creating a budget, we go back to and decide what are our objectives, and we try to prioritize them. Depending on the priorities and depending on what objectives do we need to meet, what are our goals of the entire promotion or the campaign, we would go ahead and look at our total dollars, because clients always have budgets.
When developing its program, a company also has to decide which promotional elements will be used. These elements include advertising, personal selling, public relations, sales promotion, and direct marketing, each of which has its own strengths and weaknesses. For example, advertising is any paid form of communication about ideas or products through the media. It can reach a wide audience, and it is effective at building awareness.
Advertising is more of an awareness builder. Now, that's not a one-on-one type of marketing relationship. It's to build the awareness, either from a company awareness or a product awareness.
On the downside, advertising as a promotional element is very costly, and if the message doesn't reach the target audience, it is a waste of money. It also can't answer all customer questions or target individual customers. Personal selling involves two-way communication between a buyer and a seller, designed to influence the purchase decision. It could include face-to-face sales, telephone sales, trade shows, and exhibitions. The advantages of personal selling are that the company has a direct exchange with the customer. And during this interaction, the salesperson can tailor the company's message to address the customer's needs.
Personal selling is you have to really delve down into understanding your target audience from a number of different types of demographics. You need to gather a lot of information prior to going into any kind of personal selling or using that as a tool. It's very targeted in order so you can do very specific targeted messaging to that audience in order to elicit a response and also to understand their purchasing behavior.
Like advertising, personal selling can be expensive. It's costly to hire, train, and compensate a large sales force. Also, different salespeople may deliver different and inconsistent messages to the customer. Public relations, or PR, is communication about a product placed in the media without the company paying for it directly. It includes anything from news releases and press conferences to product announcements and feature articles. PR is often seen as credible since the message comes from a third party, such as a TV station or newspaper. It's a way of reaching many customers, and usually at a lower cost.
Public relations is like advertising in a sense that it builds the awareness of your product or your company, but public relations also has other ends of it. It's not just sending out a press release. It's developing relationships with the media and the press in order for them to get to know you, to get a relationship with them, and they're more apt to present your product or promote your product out in the marketplace.
A disadvantage of using PR is that a company can't control what other people write or say about it, and it's not always easy to get cooperation from the media. Another element is sales promotion, which provides incentives to customers, encouraging them to buy a product or service. Examples include coupons, rebates, and samples. These incentives can increase sales quickly by targeting specific customers and giving them reasons to buy now.
Sales promotion can be either you give away stuff at trade shows, a free calculator, or things like that that has your logo on it. Sales promotion can be contests, it can be sweepstakes, where you're actually getting people to respond and offering them a prize in order to receive information. It's a great way if you're trying to find out information from your target audience that you necessarily can't find. You have them enter a contest or a sweepstakes, they're going to get a prize at the end, but you're also getting information from them. One of our clients is Canon, and they wanted to reach the college-age types of individuals. And so what we did is, in order to get the products in their hands, in order for them to actually use the products, we developed a sweepstakes. It was a whole tour, an entire tour around the United States, where it was based upon groups and music and things like that in order to get them to the events, to enjoy themselves at the events, but at the same time enter the contest, whereas the client would learn more about their target audience, and at the same time they would win a prize at the end. And of course the prizes at the end would be those products that the client wanted them to test.
However, there are drawbacks to sales promotions. They can be overused and may damage the brand image. They can also be easily duplicated. Another promotional alternative is direct marketing. This allows a company to interact with customers through methods such as direct mail, catalog marketing, and telemarketing. It's very effective in obtaining immediate responses and orders from the consumer. SMS specializes in direct marketing and has focused on it for many of their clients.
Direct mail, for example, if you have a specific product, maybe one product or one service that you're trying to sell, you obviously would utilize a direct marketing piece such as a postcard or a self-mailer versus a catalog, whereas if you have quite a few products that you'd like to get out there or even services, then you would typically put that in a catalog format.
For example, in the computer industry, you can send out a catalog that covers computers, accessories, screens, handhelds, printers, cables, everything in one place. And for the end user, it's great because they have something they can put on their shelf and can refer to when they're going to need those products. Sometimes, depending on the campaign, you choose one strategy over another depending on the audience. For example, you might use direct mail if you have a targeted product for a targeted geography, for a targeted let's say retail store that knows its database audience.
Advances in technology have changed the face of direct marketing. For example, over the internet, companies can not only sell their products, they can gather valuable information to target and promote directly to individual customers.
In direct response marketing or in direct marketing, you are trying to target an individual. For example, when designing a campaign, we can take the entire universe of people in the United States and narrow them down specifically by the amount of income they make, the types of lifestyle characteristics they enjoy, if they enjoy golf and tennis and swimming. And for example, if we're designing a resort campaign, we can find those specific individuals, we can find out how much they spend a year in these types of activities, how much income they have to spend on those types of leisure activities, and then target a campaign to them. Technology also helps in terms of printing and producing. For example, digital technology. I have a database of 100 customers. I can produce a high-quality, multicolor piece with that person's name on it and characteristics that I know about them specifically to their address in a limited time frame and track that entire process so that I know that they received that And then when they go online, I can set it up in a way to call them knowing that they've just received it. That's what technology has done for us. It's made it the ability to do things faster, quicker, and with a higher quality. And that all ties back to being able to elicit that response.
Direct marketing also has its drawbacks. Aggressive use of this element can irritate consumers. Also, keeping customer data fresh with frequent updates can become costly. The blend of advertising, personal selling, sales promotion, public relations, and direct marketing that a company chooses to use is called the promotional mix. Managers must decide which of the elements to emphasize to get the biggest bang for the buck. To do that, they take various factors into consideration, such as the product's life cycle.
You have to decide, where are you in that life cycle? Are you at the beginning where somebody's early adopting? They're thinking this is something brand new, it's a new niche market. Are you in the middle where there's plenty of competition for this type of product, so it's a Me Too type product, but it has some consistency on the shelf because you have some uniqueness to it? Or is the product dying down? So when deciding how to promote, you have to decide, okay, where is this product really going to fit in that total life cycle? And from that, you can decide what your budget is and where you're going to target that promotion.
When deciding on a promotional mix, managers also consider how to move the product through their distribution channels using push and pull strategies. Using a push strategy, the company promotes its product to wholesalers and distributors, often through personal selling and sales promotions. The product is pushed through the marketing channel to retailers, convincing them to stock their shelves and promote the product to consumers.
A push strategy is truly where you are engaging a customer to make a response to change their behavior. And that can be done several ways. It can be done through a sales force or a sales channel where they're actively going after an individual and giving them a reason to buy, a low cost, a time frame, a great offer. That's push.
Using a pull strategy, the company aims its promotion directly to consumers, encouraging them to ask retailers for the product. This strategy pulls the product through the marketing channel by creating a strong customer demand.
Now, a pull strategy is a little different that's like general advertising. That's like saying, I'm promoting a product and I want to make customers aware of my product. I'm giving them a reason to come into the store and see the product, and it's more of a brand recognition.
One way to employ a pull strategy is through direct response promotion. The goal of direct response is to get prospective customers to contact the company directly. It can then get those customers into its database and build relationships using a clear and consistent message.
If you have a direct response campaign out there, for example, and you're driving people into a retail location, the promotions that you run in that location, be it a sweepstakes or some type of in-store giveaway, you're going to want to maintain a constant or a consistent message and a consistent theme throughout so they don't seem disjointed. Once you drive that person into that retail location, they're experiencing what it is that they expected to experience from that initial communication.
So we're going to have to go through, source code it all, compile it all.
Once the promotional mix is put together and the strategies are determined, it's time to design the promotion itself. This is often the most creative part of planning. Each element has design alternatives that must be integrated, working together to achieve the same
So
objectives.
this would all be graphical.
In order to integrate promotional elements into an overall campaign, what you're going to want to do is to build in consistency in the messaging, consistency of visuals.
In advertising, you have your graphic and your headline always work together, and your body copy always supports what you're doing. That headline and graphic has a specific message to it. And that message is what we call as a clarity statement. It's the one thing that you want to say to your target audience. And then that one thing that you're saying to your target audience is what you're going to be saying in your direct mail. Now, you're not necessarily going to use the same language or the same headline or the same visual, but it's going to elicit the same type of response. So in some respects, it's how you go about utilizing the different mediums with that one message.
For eMachines, we designed a promotion that would get them to go online, buy the product. And what we used for this, what we designed, was actually a postcard. It was an oversized postcard to that select target audience that we designed, and we sent out about 40,000 of these postcards to this select group. The message that we wanted to get across to the gamer community was great computer, great internal components, fantastic graphics card, and a great price.
When design is complete, managers must next consider the timing of their promotion schedule. When and where are the different promotional elements going to be introduced, and for how long?
In advertising, how you schedule it, there's always a media schedule that is attached to an advertisement. So how we schedule is we look back from a material due date. Direct mail, when does the client want to drop it? And then we have to deal with the printers. When can the printer get it? If you're using sales promotions, say it's the trade show end of it. When is the trade show? When do we have to have the booth there? When does the graphics have to be done in order to go into the booth? When does that product have to launch? When do we have to have the PR in place? When do we have to have the advertising in place?
Seasonality and promotion by a company's competitors also influence the scheduling of a promotion. Once a promotion has been scheduled, the planning stage is complete, and it comes time to implement the plan. This often begins by testing the reaction of the target audience. Will customers respond well to the promotion? There are ways to find out. For instance, pre-testing exposes people to certain promotional elements in a controlled setting and measures their reactions. This kind of research is invaluable to a promotion program.
We'll go ahead and take a sample or a segment of our target audience and we'll send different types of vehicles to different clusters or different groups of the target audience, and we'll take those results back in and we'll do our analysis. There's different types of algorithms that you can do from a database perspective and come up with, okay, this is what we believe will work best. This is the creative, this is the messaging, this is the tone that will work best with these specific target audience. And then from there, you can go out and do a complete rollout. And there are other forms of testing that you can utilize before you go out to market or you go out with any kind of a promotional piece, be it direct mail, advertising, things like that. You can actually have focus groups, and you would actually ask them specific questions. You would actually show them whatever you're going out to promotion with, get their feedback, saying, would this offer be compelling? What do you think about this message? How does this look to you? It's a qualitative type of research where you get that information and you compile that and you get their responses on what they believe would work well for them to elicit a response to for their purchase behavior, would they purchase it or not.
In order to communicate with its customers, a company has to encode information about its product or service. That is, managers must translate their ideas into a persuasive and understandable message. But the company has no control over how the message will be interpreted or decoded by the receiver.
When designing a promotion for a product or service, one of the most important things is that you have to consider is truly the audience reception of the messages that you're putting forward. And the reason that's important is because if you design a campaign with push and pull and the complete promotional mix, and yet you aren't touching base with the audience receiving the message, it's not important to them, you've wasted your money. They're not going to buy, they're not going to take your service, they're not going to call, they're not going to come into your store. There was an old model that basically said your encoding message has to equal your decoding message, meaning what I want you to receive is exactly what you're going to receive. You have to think about the total recipient message that's going to be received and designing the elements for that. And that's why we put multiple elements in there. It's not just the price point. It's not just the value pack PC. It's not just the web store ordering. It's not just a phone call. And it's not just giving a picture of the PC, but also the internal specifications, so that message can be received across various types of response mechanisms.
The third step in developing the promotion program is control. This is when a company evaluates the program to see what corrections, modifications, or improvements need to be made. When the promotion has been carried out, the company needs to know if it achieved the objectives specified at the beginning of the process. One way to find out is through post-testing, which evaluates the impact of each promotional activity by measuring key variables.
In measuring results for a campaign such as the eMachines campaign, what we're typically going to look at first is, did we get a spike in the number of telephone calls? Did we get a spike in the number of web hits? And on the back end, what we do is look at the actual number of people that purchased, what was the revenue that was generated from it, and then we'll drill down even deeper. We can start looking at product lines, and then we'll look at our testing methodology, and then determine what worked this time in order to do a rollout campaign for when we're going to either go national with a campaign, move into additional markets.
Here again, in the control stage, information technology helps managers collect and analyze customer data.
Websites can be used for information gathering in trying to find additional information that you may not have on a particular audience. There's numerous elements of data processing, of database management, and of database marketing. It is as simple as collecting information and from various sources, whether it is warranty registration cards, whether it's requests for information, whether or not it's your actual customer file, and that's a database. But then that turns into database marketing when you start looking at that database and transforming it into a source of information. In direct response marketing, you want to try and measure everything that you can in order to analyze your results and see whether or not you should tweak the program or whether or not you should continue to utilize that program at all. Mail responses, in-store visits, those are the things that you want to track initially, and that's the first step. Did we increase traffic?
In evaluating the effectiveness of marketing communications, managers pay close attention to the response, that is, the impact the message had on the target audience. They'll also listen for any feedback the customer might offer to determine if the message was decoded and understood as intended.
Customer response and feedback is very important in determining what you're going to do from a marketing standpoint moving forward, and even what you're going to do possibly from a product and service offering standpoint moving forward. After campaigns, you can look at how people responded, the comments that you got from them, and then you can tweak either your product, service offerings, or your marketing message.
With so many different communication options available today, a company has to choose the right tools and have them work together to get their message across to their target audience. By integrating multiple channels of communication, companies like Specialized Marketing Services have helped clients to send a consistent message and achieve their promotional goals effectively and efficiently.